Hello and welcome to English. Today is session 8, creating a plan for a documentary. We're going to talk about the process of synthesis again today. Before we get to that, just want to take a look at one of our topics that you could have possibly chosen. This one is on civil rights, and you may know who this gentleman here. This is Martin Luther King, one of the most prominent and popular civil rights activists in our history. All right, we go to our second slide, which is our blue direction slide. We're going to do two things today. One, we're going to make sure our 5 sources are done, and then we're going to talk about the process of synthesis that we did, similar to what we did when we worked with our science topic before break. So our sources, we want to make sure that starting on page 83, we have all 5 of our sources complete. And then we're going to do our synthesis process. Just like we did before, we're going to narrow down the information and decide what we want to share. But the difference is the first time we did this with a science topic, I had you do a box and divide it into fours and then put like 3 to 5 bullet points with a picture in there to summarize your information. This time, you're going to have 6 different types of boxes that you can use so you can show the type of angle that you want to use when you present the information. Okay, so we'll get started on that. But before I do that, I just want to briefly go over what we're doing this week. Today is the synthesis. Tomorrow, we're going to start writing your script, and we're going to do that each day this week. Okay, this is the 3 to 5 minutes of narration that you're going to use when you film your video. Okay, so if we had to kind of summarize this, last week we spent most of the week working on our 5 sources. This week, today we're doing the synthesis, but we're going to spend the rest of the week writing our script, okay, for 3 to 5 minutes of narration. And then next week, we're going to work on doing our slide presentation and filming our screencastify showing you how to do that. Okay, and that'll start on Monday. Again, this is just kind of our grading. Okay, the first part, 25 points, is going to be our sources in our synthesis box. Our next 25 is the screencastify with our script and our slideshow. Okay, we went over that. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and get started. This is kind of review. This is a historical documentary. And when I did this one, we have 5 sources here. We have the links in the notes, but you can see I only have pictures for one. So when I'm filming this, I hadn't got around to getting the pictures in yet. So I'll have to do that after I do the video. But we have our 5 sources here. Okay, you can see we got lots of notes that we've taken so far. Our topic here, I should mention that, was Emmett Till. That's what we did. Okay, so that's where you should be at today. All right, our next step then is we're going to do our synthesis. And again, what we want to do is kind of narrow down what we want to present and share. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to go over 6 different box types that you can choose from to present the angle that you want to do. And each slide of the next 6 is going to show one of those types. We'll just briefly discuss it. And then you can go to a Google Slides once you've chosen your angle, the type of box you want. We have Google Slides in our Google Classroom here called Documentary Nonfiction Organizational Structure Slides. You can copy and paste it. You'll put it right after your 5th source in your writer's notebook, and you go ahead and you'll work on it right in there. The 6 that we're going to go over are called cause and effect, compare and contrast, pro and con, problem and solution, sequence of events, and descriptive structure. You're going to choose one of these 6 that you want to use as your angle, okay, to present the information. Okay, now in the yellow box here, just remember before we get started, you are not writing an opinion, your opinion, or a bias. Okay, you're just presenting the facts. You're not trying to argue or persuade people about anything. But like I said, you may present this information in a certain type of angle using one of these 6 types of structures over here. The first one, cause and effect. Cause is something that happened. The effect is what happened as a result. An example might be of our topics might be the Japanese internment camps. You can tell what was happening and what was the effect of that. You probably have several ideas for that. Okay, just one example. All right. A second one is compare and contrast. Compare, in contrasting, you would be comparing what's the same and what's different. One of the topics I chose to maybe you could do it on is if you did the 442nd Regimental Combat Group, you could put down what was the same or similar between this combat group and other combat groups and things that were different. Okay, just a thought. Our third type is pros and cons. Okay, things that would be good or that you like about them, things that you don't like about them. This would be maybe Confederate monuments. Maybe I think I've got monument spelled wrong up here. Okay, but I'll fix that. What you could do is, you know, pros. What are good things about the monuments that are up, and then cons would be what would be the pros and cons of leaving them up or taking them down. So you got kind of a wide array of ideas that you go through there. That's pros and cons, and that's an angle that you could take to present your information without sharing a bias or information. A fourth one is a problem and a solution. The problem is what goes wrong, and the solution is how it's fixed. One example might be civil rights. Okay, throughout our history, United States, different problems that we've come up with throughout our history that we've had with civil rights, and then problems or solutions that you have found in your research that hopefully have tried to fix things as we go. Obviously, we're not there, but again, problem and solution. Okay, could be an angle for you. Another one, our fifth type, is maybe you want to do a sequence of events. Okay. An example I have here is the Tulsa riots. Okay. You could kind of, here's what happened first, here's what happened second, here's what happened third and fourth. Again, you're just giving information, but this is the angle of how you want to present that information. And lastly, there's one called descriptive structure, where you just kind of take a topic and you're just presenting random bits of information. Okay. And this is like an example here, Black Lives Matter. You can talk about a topic. You're going to give us some information, another topic about it. Here you can see like cats and their subtopics, their physical appearance, fur, size, and tongue. So it just kind of gives you a wide range of areas where you want to be able to hit. So those are the six. Okay. So again, here what I have in red, this is kind of recapping those six. All right. And what we decided to do for Emmett Till, we had our 5 sources. We chose the last one here, descriptive structure. So what we did over here on our topic is we put background, funeral, trial, Emmett Till generation, and corrected current information. And then you can see we've got 3 to 5 bullet points, 3 to 4 bullet points here, just some basic things. Now what we're trying to do is all the research notes that we've taken, these here, this is the information that we're going to share in our historical documentary in our 5 minutes. Once we get this done, then tomorrow, what we're going to try to do is take this information and we're going to work this into a narration of 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'll show you how to do that tomorrow, but that would be our next step. Okay, so for homework, what would we like you to do? Okay, all right, go to this slides. Okay, if you go to your Google Classroom, here's the information for today. Here's the slide. Get my arrow out of the way. Underneath it is this one right here. It says documentary nonfiction organizational structures. That's down in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see every time I put my arrow over there, it gets covered up. You click on that, and when it does, what you'll see is it'll come up with the different boxes of the things that we've covered. And we've kind of done this before. You just click on it and then copy and paste it and put it over in the writer's notebook right after your 5th source, and you can write it from there. This will be worth 4 points, and that'll be due tomorrow. Okay? As I did last week, if you are missing any of the assignments that you have, you can click on the links here, and this will take you right to the slides, the information that you need to have. Okay, and as always, I got the learning target, and if you want to watch Ms. DeFries's videos, she goes through things a little greater length than I do. Okay, so if you have any questions, please email me. But again, we're looking at you do one of these 6 boxes and go through and start filling these out. Okay, in your writer's notebook. Thank you, good luck, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.